If you think about it, someone's going to be telling your story one day. You could see your life as a story, right? And someone will tell your story from their perspective, because obviously, how could they tell it from your perspective? Only you know that perspective inside of your own head, right? So, how can you learn to think about this? Well, think about a movie. You've got the studio who makes the director put out a movie a certain way. Then you can go see the director's cut, and you can see the movie the director's way. It's kind of like that. There's parts that are going to be cut out. There's parts that are going to be different. Some people might only like the director's version. Some people might not like it at all. But I think you get a more true telling of a movie that way. However, sometimes I will say a movie's better the way the studio wanted it for some reason. Kinda maybe rare. If you take a look at Spider-Man 3, it was not supposed to have two bad guys. Sam Raimi didn't want that. And I would say that's a movie everyone should go back and watch because it is really, really good. The Sandman was perfect in that movie. The Venom parts get a little annoying, and he didn't want to do anything with that. He didn't want to have two bad guys, which is super unfortunate because if you would have... Actually, there's three bad guys, sort of. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't say anymore. But it would have been a lot better without Venom. Unfortunately, they just didn't maybe have the technology, or they didn't pick the right actor for it, or whatever the case might be. Okay, anyways. So, think about this. What's the difference between planting trees, building, or doing woodwork, whittling down trees, right? Wood, inherently. Well, with one, you're building. With one, you're tearing down. But in tearing down, you're making something beautiful out of something that was raw, beautiful, but you're putting yourself into it, just like a story. That's why I hate hearing, like on Twitter, about people that'll write a story and then they erase some of it. And I'm like, no, don't do that. My novel's at 100,000 words right now, and I'm sure some of it is just framework, skeleton framework that will need to be fleshed out, so to speak. But I'm going to keep it still because it might end up being something for another story. In fact, I'm going to think I might publish it either as a bunch of separate short stories, or maybe I'll be able to put them into chapters, and I will debate how I'll make it fit time-wise. But it's really interesting writing a story. It gives you a lot of insight into life, too. Interesting. Art is life. Magic. Yep. Thank you.